What is going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Today we are going to be installing some new carbon fiber parts on my 2019 Ninja H2 right there.
About 2 months ago I decided to go ahead and purchase the wings, and that was kind of a mistake because now I want more. Carbon fiber is so nice on this bike, and it really just screams for more. So I went to motocomposites.com and I purchased these dash panels here, one for this side and one for the other side, and they are in this box right here. I haven't opened it yet, but we're going to do that together. And I also purchased a new chain. I'm a big fan of these 3D chains by EK, and we're going to be installing it to replace the chain that's on there right now. There's nothing really wrong with this chain, so this will be more of a cosmetic upgrade than a functional one. And once we're done, it'll look just like this. I run the same chain on my R1, and I've used this exact same chain on every bike that I've had since 2009. I am a huge fan of these EK chains. So we're gonna go ahead and get that installed. But first, let's get this box open. Oh boy. Oh boy. The box came a little damaged. I hope that it didn't damage what's inside. Oh, got a nice little letter. Oh man. Yeah, someone told me a while back that once you start ordering carbon fiber parts, it becomes an addiction, and they were not lying. I'm glad I started with the biggest pieces first, which were the wings. Oh man. Woo! Look at that. Man, that is some beautiful work. Wow. I'm in love. They look flawless. Just absolutely perfect. See how closely it matches the weave of the other pieces. And it looks really close. It actually looks identical, though the wings are a little bit different. The wings are a little different, but it matches the stock nose piece. It matches the stock nose fairing like perfectly. I know it's probably hard to see on the camera, but I can't tell the difference. And even the small difference between the wings and this, and the wings and the nose fairing, like still isn't. It's barely noticeable. Wow, that is gonna look so nice. Before I get these installed, I'm gonna hit it with a nice coat of this Hydro Slick ceramic hyper wax. I put some of that on these wings, and I know you can't tell. It's probably really hard to tell, but damn, is it shiny. The before and after are just pretty damn amazing. I'm impressed with this stuff and how shiny it makes everything and how easy it is to use. So I'm gonna hit it with a coating of this, and then we'll get it installed. All right, I got the wax on. Sorry if it seems like I'm yelling. I've got my earbuds in, and I'm doing the other guy's live show on YouTube. If you haven't watched the show, make sure you check it out on Fridays. I'm gonna leave a link to Ghost Ninja's channel, and you can subscribe to him and get notifications for when we start on Fridays. Anyways, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna take off those panels here, this one here, and that one there, and then we'll go ahead and install the new one. I got this side off. That's what everything looks like in there. It still looks pretty clean. I guess it'd be a good time to do some wire management if we needed to, but everything looks pretty straight in there. So we'll go ahead and install the next piece.
So it's almost in there, almost. The fitment is a little different. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close.
That is beautiful. Very beautiful. It actually fits really well. Like I was afraid that these little corners here wouldn't there'd be like a big gap, but there's not. The holes all lined up correctly. Yeah, this is really, really nice. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side.
And there it is. It looks so good.
See if I can get this thing out of the way so you can see it. Whoa. Damn. And it matches the carbon so well.
I love it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I was kind of afraid that it wouldn't fit right or that the carbon weave would be off, but it looks so good. Well, now that that's done, we go ahead and get started with the chain. So we're about to do the chain. Before you get started with anything, make sure you have all the parts, all the tools that you need. I've got a Dremel I'm using, I've got my chain breaker tool. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do this. If you've never done it before, make sure you do a little research. I am not an expert. I'm just a guy in a garage figuring shit out, and I have a way that I do it. But always make sure you take your time, do some research. It's super easy to do, and I'll kind of walk you through how I do my shit right now.
Ooh, okay. So, as you can see, I hope it's not too dark, but use your Dremel and grind down those rivets, make them nice and flat, and then we'll take our chain brake tool and then push those pins in. And as you can see, it's starting to push that pin in. Starting to push that pin in right there. Basically, all you gotta do is just keep going and push both sides in. So when you're using this tool, you wanna make sure you use the right size pin, put the spring inside, and then take this piece, and you want to get it just so it protrudes just a little bit. You don't want it to be too long, because then that'll end up breaking.
Yeah.
So this would be the time normally I'd say that if you're changing your chain based on your maintenance schedule, you want to replace your sprockets as well. So I got both chains laid out. The chain needs to be 118 links long, and replacement chain comes at 120. So really you only have to remove 2 links. But what I like to do is just start off at the beginning and count. I count every single link. And I double check and triple check just to make sure, because you don't want to cut too many, because then you fuck up your whole chain. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Go ahead and then count again, and then I'll go ahead and remove one of the links just to get it to the right size.
I had to move the wheel forward a little bit. Something I've never run into before was where I couldn't connect both of these links at the setting that it was at. So I just moved it forward a little bit, and now I got it in there. So now I'll just have to put the front plate on, and then we can start pushing this plate on and then get the rivet. My GoPro died, but as you can see, I got the O-rings on there, they're greased, I got the plate on there. Now we just gotta get it to press on just a little bit. Take it off. Oh, yep, and it's working. It's kind of hard to tell, but the plate is pushed on there. It's on there enough. So what I like to do now is take my micrometer and then check to see how wide the other links are. I measure the width of these links to know what the width of this link should be. So I've measured the width of a few times, and it is 20.50 millimeters. So that's how much I'm going to press this to. So I'm going to keep pressing little by little, and once it gets to 20.50 millimeters, I'll know I've pressed it enough, and then we can start the riveting process. Alright, so it took a little while, only because I tried to make it as perfect as I possibly can, but you can see on the factory width is about 20.57, and when I do mine, about 20.66. I've gotten a little bit lower than that, but it's still really close. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, see, 20.63. So I think that's good enough. I think we're at a perfect spot right now where we can make a nice rivet and be good to go. You get your tools, you get your spring and your little rivet tool, little rivet pin. And one thing that I learned is that you can only push these pins in so far. I know it's really hard to tell. Actually, let me, okay, so here's something I learned. So if you look at this, right? This is pretty, you can see that there's a little flat ledge on this part right here, right? This little flat part. And they're not perfectly mated. When you make your rivet, you can only push this so far. Once these two edges are mated, that's good. Then you're done. That's really it. Okay, well that's it. I know it took a little bit longer than I expected to, only because we're doing the live stream and a bunch of other stuff, but the chain is on there now. Only thing you gotta do is just tighten it to the right tension, and that's it. I think we're solid. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna clean up this mess and maybe go for a ride because it's a nice night, and that's it. But if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow me on Instagram, all those good things. Thank you again for the support, and I'll see you next time.